Hi guys, today we're going to continue our study of the immune system. This time we're going to talk about a few different types of white blood cells. So let's get started. So we talked about B cells last week. Let's talk about memory B cells. So remember, your body and your white blood cells create antibodies to help defend against antigens. Remember, those are the body invaders. Well, one specific type of B cell that helps in this is the memory B cell. So your immune system can recognize and remember body invaders. In addition to producing antibodies, some B cells become memory cells. Memory cells memorize the makeup of antigens which antibodies were created to attack. So I've included this little cartoon right here. This is a memory B cell saying, hey, I remember you, to the bad guy, the antigen. So your memory B cells remember what those antigens are and then use that information to create antibodies. All right, now the T cells do a lot of different things. They're broken up into 4 different groups. So there's the killer T cell, the helper T cell, the suppressor T cell, and the memory T cell. And they all work together to keep your body safe and attack those antigens. So let's talk about the killer T cell first. This is like the warrior T cell. This is the type of cell that can kill a foreign cell, otherwise known as the antigen, but it also can turn other nearby blood cells into killer T cells as well. So it's kind of cool. So not only can they fight themselves, but if there's another white blood cell around, it can convert them into a killer T cell as well. Think of it as giving those other blood cells like a Spider-Man bite, and all of a sudden they're able to fight as well. So killer T cells defend, and they can also create other killer T cells. Helper T cells do exactly what their name says. They encourage other white blood cells to get in the fight. They're the ones who rally the troops, so to speak. Also, as you can tell, Miss Danielle's trying to incorporate memes this week, so tell me how I did. But they want to hype everybody up so that the fight can get started against the antigens. So they'll go around to the other white blood cells and try to get them involved in the fight. Suppressor T cells. These cells calm down the fight once a threat has been eliminated. So once all the antigens have been destroyed, this is the type of cell that keeps the body from going too far. They want to make sure that the immune system doesn't keep going and keep this fight going and start hurting other cells in the body. So just like the helper T cells hype everybody up, the suppressor T cells calm your body down. You like my memes? I feel pretty good about them. Okay, and then there's the memory T cells. So remember, we had memory B cells earlier. These cells work just like memory B cells, but rather than memorizing for the sake of creating antibodies, they're memorizing so if that same specific antigen, remember that's a germ or a virus or bacteria, comes back, they will be ready with specialized T cells. So they are remembering what that antigen is made up of so that if it comes back, they will have enough T cells ready. So every single one of these white blood cells plays a vital role. Without them, the immune system wouldn't work properly. Finally, your lesson talks about immunization, and this is probably a word you've heard before. So an immunization is when your body creates antibodies without first being sick. So you would think of this as a vaccine or a shot normally. So when you receive a vaccine, you receive a small amount of that antigen, that germ or that virus or that bacteria. The difference is it's altered a little bit, and it introduces it to your body so that your body can start creating antibodies without having to get the full-blown sickness first. These are often given through injections, but they can sometimes be given through, let's just say through pills or a nasal spray. So most often it's given through a shot. That's probably how you've received them in the past, but there are other ways to receive a vaccine. All right, guys, that's all we have for today. We'll discuss this live in class. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.